Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be with you. We've gone through a very difficult period, and I hope that you and your families are safe and healthy. First of all, I would like to thank you for being with us and for your interest on our graduate school. I'm going to share with you this project. We are very, very excited about it. But I would like to talk about the region. I mean that Real Madrid has been very successful for many, many decades, and has been thanks to the support of millions of fans all over the world. And we've always tried to give back to our society something I receive from it. That's the reason why we decided to create our Real Madrid Foundation in, well, more than 20 years ago. And our graduate school is another example. You know that Real Madrid doesn't belong to anybody. We call presidential elections every 4 years. So our current president, Florentino Perez, won his first election in 2000. The situation of the club was really difficult at that time. And as you may know, he's very prestigious businessman, and as soon as he took over, he decided to instill all his knowledge and business experience over the club. And he was able to transform the club into a modern organization, and he was able to turn that difficult economic situation into a profitable one. After several years, that approach was really very successful. And then we decided to do something in the field of education. And well, at that, of course, we were an expert. And then we looked for the right partner. We assessed several options, and finally, we agreed terms with Europea. In 2006, we set up our graduate school, a project that why we decided to do it? Because we thought that a new path in sports management had been opened, and that the club, Real Madrid, had made a great contribution to it. And then we decided to share our experience, our knowledge with those who were interested and could be interested in this wonderful field of sports. Next slide. This is the picture of our boardroom. I mean, we don't want to boast, of course, but Real Madrid is one of the most prestigious clubs in the world. Here you can see, 23 European Cups. You know that the most prestigious club competition in the world is the Champions League. Real Madrid has won 13, but to understand the magnitude of this achievement, we have to say that Milan, is the second with 7, and Liverpool third on the list with 6. At the same time, we've won 10 basketball European Cups, and we are the club with most cups, European Cups as well. So this picture sums up our history. History, as you can imagine, we are very proud of. Next. Here we have some highlights of the club, some information that we are the club with most international trophies, 26, and at the same time, according to the evaluation of KPMG, Real Madrid is the most valuable club in the world. We boast more than 600 million fans all over the world, and we have 350 million followers on our social media. So that gives you an idea about the dimension, the international dimension of Real Madrid. So next, please. So when we look for our partner, there were two elements that for us was really very important. Okay, for us the values are really very strong. Here on this slide, on the picture, we can see two men. I mean the two giants in the history of the club. Santiago Bernabeu on the right, Alfredo Di Stefano on the left. Santiago Bernabeu was our president for 35 years, and Alfredo Di Stefano, our best player ever. They changed the history of the club. One in the front office, the other one on the pitch. They made an incredible contribution to the club. The legacy is very rich. Santiago Bernabeu was one of the creators of the European Cup, the current Champions League. And in 1953, he signed Alfredo Di Stefano. In 1955, the European Cup started, and Real Madrid, led by Alfredo Di Stefano, won the first 5 in a row, and our legend started there. And there have been certain values that has been handed down from generation to generation, and then these two figures have been so important for us that they're present in our daily activity as the two men who open a path, and they gave us a legacy we try to preserve, because probably the main reason of our success is, we think the values they taught us. So when we looked for the right partner for this project, this academic project, there were two main elements. Leadership, because, Real Madrid tried to, every season, at the beginning of every season, we try to, we prepare to win all the trophies, all the competitions. That's our goal, and trying to become the best in the world. That's our goal. Obviously, is every season is very difficult, because there are great competitors, great organizations, that they look for the same goal. And then we wanted our partner to have this, to be a leader in the field, and in Universidad Europea, of course, they were leaders in the field and international scope. Real Madrid was founded here in Madrid, and we are very proud of that, to be from Madrid, to be from Spain, but we have fans all over the world. So that international presence, that international outlook for us was really very important. And Universidad Europea offered us as well. So that was really very important to start to set our alliance. Next, please. Regarding our goals, as I said before, we realized that football industry has changed dramatically. That a new path had been opened, and then we wanted to train the leaders of the future, those who are able to be flexible enough to adapt to the new times, those who are able to inspire others to follow them and to pave the way for future generations to come. So that was really very important for us. International scope, we are going to insist about this all the time. Well, we have an example today with you, all right? Because here I have some information regarding the countries that are represented now in this session. There are people from Puerto Rico, United States, England, Brazil, Spain, Turkey, Ghana, Belarus, Mexico, Argentina, Kuwait, Nigeria, and Iran. So that is an example. I mean, we want to be in touch with everybody around the world, as much as foreign people, the better. And that is really very important. From the very first day, we wanted to be an international graduate school. And every year, we foster this concept, this idea. And the third one, professional support. Of course, theory is very important, but we consider that what we have to do is to provide special experience to our students. So we have great teachers, great professionals, experienced professionals who guarantee us or allow us to offer first-class teaching. And for that, for us, this is really very important. I think it's pivotal to learn from those who have great responsibilities in very prestigious sports organization. Here, at the same time, I would like to highlight something we are going to speak later for sure, the commitment of Real Madrid. I mean, more than 70 professionals from Real Madrid executive are part of the faculty. I think this is really very important. And at the same time, each program counts on a co-director, Real Madrid co-director. The way what I'm doing is guarantee the president of Real Madrid in every program and provide our students with the opportunity to learn from those who are running every department here in the club, something that is, I think, make us different from other graduate school. Okay, please, next. Well, this picture was taken during this graduation ceremony. The graduation ceremony takes place at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, all right? And he's our president, Florentino Perez, handing over the diploma to a lady and a student. And that is a very special event. Well, try to imagine Santiago Bernabéu Stadium on the field, there with your classmates, the president of Real Madrid handing over the diplomas. Always the patron we choose is a very remarkable person. Well, next to our president, we can see the president of Telefónica. That is an example. So that is really a special night, an unforgettable night for all of us. And here we can see, I mean, the four areas we are focused. I mean, areas the club is involved in on daily basis. You know, management and law and technologies, training and sports, marketing and communication, and health. We'll go through them later for sure as well. Please, let's move on to the next slide. Well, international DNA, I'm going to insist a lot about this through our session. For us is something essential because, well, we live in a globalized world. We are living in a globalized world. Everybody's connected. Everything is connected. So this is something essential for us. Here are some figures. 73% of our students come from abroad. Over more than 50 nationalities were present in our classrooms last year. Gives you the idea, a clear idea about the diversity you can, well, encounter in the classroom, and the opportunity of networking to open your mind. So it's something fantastic. Online, it's a very important area for us as well. Many people can come to Madrid. Coming to Madrid, we consider it a special opportunity to have a unique experience, of course, but, well, some people can't. And then another way to be in touch with them and providing, well, the Real Madrid experience is, of course, through the online education, and we are working on that. We are working very hard to provide as well a great education through that channels, through that platform. Next. Well, this is, we say, our playing field, where we are in the world, all right? Okay, after 14 years, when we started, of course, we have a goal to be in touch with the international field. And right now we are in 10 countries. We have present in 10 countries. We offer 20 graduate programs. This last year, over 1,000 students were with us worldwide, and 11,500 students have already graduated with us. Of course, that we are very proud of what we achieved so far, but, you know, competition is fierce, we are very demanding, and of course we want to grow, we want to become better every day, every year. That's our goal, and at the same time to provide our students with the best teaching quality possible. Next. Well, this is another highlight of the year. I mean, we call Samanablanca White Week. This is a special week. All the sessions are taken at the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, precisely at the presidential box of the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. Here, well, you can see a couple of examples. We invite very important people, very prominent people in the sports world to share their experiences and their knowledge with our students. On the left, you can see Luka Modric, and, well, Luka Modric, our legendary player, along with Zvonimir Boban. At that time, he was the deputy secretary of FIFA, and a legendary Croatian football player as well. On the right, our current head coach, Zinedine Zidane. Both sessions, of course, were very special for our students, but as you could watch on the video at the beginning of this session, this year we have as well, great professionals from different angles, and we are really very proud very proud of this week, you know, because it's a great opportunity to bring great figures of the world of sport, people who have great responsibility, and then it's a great opportunity to learn from the best. Next. Now, facilities. Of course, that teaching quality is very important for us, but at the same time, we have to provide our students with first-class facilities. Here you can see the campus of Universidad Europea. It's very ample, very open, it's fantastic. As well, the campus they have in La Moraleja, in Alcobendas, very close to Madrid, very prestigious area. Next. And of course, Real Madrid facilities. Santiago Bernabeu hosts our students throughout the year. I said before, Samanablanca takes place there, but different programs have many classes in our facilities there at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. It's in the middle of the city. It's, as you may know, we are revamping it, and we are very excited about the project, and so it's an iconic place for us. It was inaugurated in 1947, and that means a lot for us and for our fans. You know, there is a very special relationship between our fans and this place. Please, next. Valdebebas. This is our training ground, special place as well, because here is where our first team, our professional team, trains every day, and our academy as well. So, in fact, you know that tomorrow we're going to have a very important game in our league, very, very important game. Today they have practice there. And tomorrow morning they are going to go there because there is a resident where they are going to be there to prepare the game we are going to play tomorrow 9 o'clock in the evening. But at the same time, is the place where we develop the talent of young players who are part of our youth teams. There, on these fields, they dream of becoming Real Madrid first team players. And at the same time, this is the place where, our students from the masters of our health area have their training with our professionals. Please, next. As well, Universidad Europea had a great facilities, and then we put at our students' disposal all the technology, most modern technology, cutting-edge technology, and great facilities to provide them a great and unique experience. Please, next. As I said before, professional experience is really very important for us. It's a key element, I think, of our school. As I said before, theory is really very important, but it's much more important to learn from those who have to face great responsibilities in different organizations. We are very proud of our teachers and professionals that are top on their fields, and allow us to offer first-class teaching from every angle. At the same time, we have agreement with more than 100 companies who help us provide unique experiences to our students. And here, I would like to insist on the contribution of Real Madrid. As I said before, 70 Real Madrid executive are part of the faculty, and a co-director from, or an executive from Real Madrid is a co-director of each program. So I think that is really very important because allow our students to have direct information from those who, well, are running different departments here in the club, and to learn directly from them. I think that is a great opportunity for our students. And at the same time, in internships, there is a special program, internship program, here in the club just for our graduate school, from the students of our graduate school. In fact, this year has been a very difficult year because of the pandemic, and in spite of that, more than 100 students from the school have the opportunity to have their internship here in the club, something that, in our view, is another element that make our school different. Next, please. Well, this slide is, I think, explain the current situation and what can happen in the future. In the 90s, the sport industry experienced a turning point. A turning point because of the television. I mean, private televisions and satellite. And because of the satellite, all of a sudden, the world was connected. People from different countries have the opportunity to watch our games, and that brought on a new scenario. A new scenario that let our industry grow. Now we are going through a very special moment. The pandemic has accelerated some process in our society, and it could speed up digital process in many sectors of our society, and probably in football as well. That will let us reach our fans, our supporters directly, and set a bilateral relationship that help us to strengthen the emotional link between the club and our supporters, and at the same time expand our commercial strategy globally. So here we can see, as we said, the pyramid, and here you can see the different degrees of intensity in the relationship between our club or a club and our fans. From the bottom to the top. I mean, at the bottom, start from the bottom, for example. I mean, the first layer from the bottom, just people who like football and, well, they like Real Madrid, but they have a superficial relationship. As you go up in the pyramid, the intensity increases. I mean, next layer, well, someone who, well, is more interested. He watch our games from time to time, and well, log on our website. They want to know more about the club, Next level, someone who, well, is able to buy something, to spend some money, to buy a shirt, or to buy a cap or scarf. I mean, you know, to show their loyalty in that way. Another layer is, well, to download our app. And then we move up to the next layer. Someone who decided to go to the stadium to have a unique experience, or to go to our museum to know more about our history and to feel something special about the club. Someone would like to be linked to the club because from the emotional point of view is really very important for that. And then they are part of our affiliate program. We call them Madridistas, all right? And there are close to 300,000 all over the world. And well, they receive our magazine every 3 months. They have a special promotion, special conditions, some advantages. They receive permanent information from the club, and that bond is permanent. And then the last two are those who have the most important right to vote for our president. Every 4 years, as I said before, at the beginning of my intervention, we call presidential elections. Who vote? 93,000 members of the club. They have the right to choose our president, and the president is going to run the club for the next 4 years. Our president says that they are the owners of the club because, in fact, well, some of them, just 65,000, have a seat at the stadium, and they can go every game to watch the games, the matches. And this is, so as you go up, the intensity of that relationship grows. So what about the future? How about the future? Nobody knows. We don't know what the future has in store for us. Now, the relationship, the commercial relationship between the club and our fans has different steps, all right? We have, let's say, we are going to play a game tomorrow against Villarreal, and then a fan has to, or a fan needs someone in the middle between the club and then on him to watch that game. Probably in the future that is going to change, and probably that is going to change because of digital transformation. We are working very hard on that. All the clubs are working very hard on this, you know, because we feel that our industry changing. Well, it's changing very rapidly, of course. And then we want to be prepared to take advantage of all the opportunities that technology is going to offer us in the future. The future probably is going to be right there, right, just around the corner. Something which is very important. We boast 600 million fans all over the world, but just 3%, less than 3% of them are here. We have here in Spain. That's why at the beginning I said that, of course, we are very proud of being from Madrid and from Spain, but we have fans all over the world. Next, please. Well, before finishing, I've chosen this picture. This is a picture of my debut with Real Madrid as a football player. It was in 1984. And then I decided to use this picture because, well, imagine 1984, 36 years ago, long time ago. So at that time, in that time, in Spain, there were just 2 channels, 1 television station, national station. That game wasn't broadcast, but in those years, just very few games were broadcast. Our organization, Real Madrid, there wasn't the marketing department, no communications department. Regarding the professional team, there was just 1 masseuse, 1 doctor. Everything had changed tremendously. That's why we decided to launch this project, because we realized that the industry needed and needs very well professionals, great professionals, because we need to grow. Every year we have to grow. And for that, nowadays, the organizations are not just, I'm talking about football organizations, are not just clubs. Of course, there are clubs, and there is an emotional element, of course, in the industry. But at the same time, the organizations, the club, have to be run like companies. And for that, we need great professionals. And then one of our goals when we started with our graduate school was, well, to share our experience and knowledge, and at the same time, being able to train the leaders of the future. So, next, please. So, it's our pleasure, of course, and my personal pleasure, to share with you this project, and to share the passion I feel about this project. This is an alliance with Universidad Europea. We started 14 years ago. And what was illusion at the beginning, now is a solid reality. I think that Real Madrid Graduate School now has a name, and in fact, we are really very proud of what we achieve. And at the same time, as we are so demanding, we want to improve every year. We want to provide our students with something unique, not just Real Madrid, but everything for us, every detail for us is important. And so it's a permanent challenge for us, but delighted to share with you. And I really appreciate your interest, your presence today, to be with us today from so many countries. So, and now, of course, I'm at your disposal for questions and any doubt you can have. So, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Emilio. Thank you very much, Emilio, for such a good presentation about the school,
and for your time, of course.
As you say, now it is time. It's a good time for the students. The people interested in the school to know more about the school and, of course, about yourself. So we have some questions that they have already sent to us, and also we are receiving some of them. So let's start with the questions that we already have. So Emilio, this is the first question we have for you. During your whole life, education has been really important. Well, yes, you are an excellent example, no? Not only as a professional player, also as a director of institutional relations, Real Madrid, director of the Real Madrid Graduate School. So in your life in general, how did higher education contribute to improve your life being already a football star?
Well, well, first of all, I've been very lucky. I always say that, but it's the truth. My story is very particular, my professional story, because I played for my school team until the age of 18. So I studied at my school like regular teenager, so nothing special in my case. And then, I joined Real Madrid when I was 18. I started with 13. In less than 1 year, I was called up to the second team, and very, very soon to the first team. So I'm going to share with you one anecdote. As soon as I went into the dressing room of the first team, of the professional team, it was shocking for me. I mean, shocking in the sense that I collected football cards of those players I was going to play with. So it was like a dream come true. But it wasn't so easy to assimilate. Okay, so and in that team there were, of course, legendary players: Camacho, Juanito, Santillana, Del Bosque as well. Del Bosque, has been a legendary. Was the legendary player, Real Madrid legendary player, but at the same time, he's been our coach. He won 2 European Cups with Real Madrid, but at the same time, he was the coach of Spain national team, who won that team won the World Cup in South Africa. All right, and I was his teammate for several months because I was called up in February. So the season finished in June. So that June, 1984, Del Bosque decided to retire. So it was something. It was a learning experience for me, because as I said to myself, well, if Vicente Del Bosque, a legendary player, is going to retire, means that I'll do it sooner or later. That is going to happen to me. I've already started my degree in business administration here in Madrid. And, that situation, seeing Del Bosque leaving football, strengthened my resolve of continuing studying. So that for me it was really very important. I said, no, I have to continue study, because what I'm going to do when I retire. So I thought that a degree in business administration was going to help me for my future after my retirement. And then I realized that education has to be part of your life. I mean, you have to, here in the club, I learned that every day is an opportunity to become better. When you are a Real Madrid football player, I mean, the challenge is tough, and then you have to do your best all the time. So then I learned that, and then I try to apply that to my life. And then education is really very important, has to be a very important part of the human being. So I strongly believe in education, and in fact, I try to convey that message to my children. We have 3 children, and then education for me is really very important in life.
No doubt about that, Emilio. Thank you for. There's another question. What was the key factor that allowed you to succeed in the field and out of the field?
Well, the first one, that I'm a lucky man, first of all. Of course, that you need luck to...
But you need to be prepared as well, no? Lucky.
Successful. You know what? I don't know what to be successful means, but in any case, in my life, I think, of course, that you need luck, but at the same time, you have to do your best to take advantage of your luck. All right. And I've had 2 main teachers in my life: my family. My father has been a great example for me, and Real Madrid as well. They've learned me a lot. Above all, certain values. I think there are some values that have shaped my personality, and trying to choose just 4. There will be respect to, in football, to our opponent, to your teammates, to the referee, to the media, to opponent. Respect to yourself, to your coach. I mean, that is one of them. I never say die attitude. We are not going to give up, regardless of the circumstances. Teamwork. That is really very important. I learned here in the club. You have to put your talent to the benefit of the team. If the team wins, we're going to win. That is essential for us. And winning spirit. I mean, we compete. We play to win. And when you do your best, of course, you don't have to regret anything. But we play to win, and that is another element. And then I turn to them every day. And when I have difficulties, they've helped me to overcome them. So I don't say that this. This 4 has to be the 4 for everybody, but I think everybody has to choose his values. To choose your values, those who you consider are important for you, for your what's your approach to life, and then choose them and use them, because they are going to be your support to overcome all the difficulties that, of course, you are going to face in your life.
Excellent. Another question, Emilio. Why do you think it's so important for a sports industry to have qualified professionals trained in each field?
Well, because it's a professional industry right now. 30 years ago when I started was different. As I said before, in the 90s, because of television, television globalized this sport, and now with all the technology at our disposal, we have a lot of options. To strengthen our relationship with fans. So as I said before, a football club is not just a football club. It's a company. Has to be run like a company, and then you need a great professional in every position, flexible enough. Life changed very rapidly. We are going through a completely unexpected period, so you have to be ready to change and to adapt yourself to accommodate to new times very rapidly. So this is the kind of people we need.
Of course. Let me introduce one of the questions that we have from the people, the students that they are attending today our session, and it's related to this one, Emilio. It is coming from Link de Vivo. This is the username, and it is asking which are the qualities that relevant people like, of course, Mr. Florentino Perez or Mr. Jose Angel Sanchez, and of course you, Emilio. Which are the qualities that you believe every business person should try to implement to be successful or to be important for a business?
They named two key figures,
two giants, no?
of Real Madrid in the recent history of Real Madrid. Florentino is a very wise businessman. He had a great vision from the strategic point of view. I mean, he's great. I said, well, when he took over, the situation of the club was really very difficult. And then he had the vision, and after the vision, he was able to implement the right strategy. He considered that Real Madrid, from the brand point of view, was very powerful. And then what we have to do is to exploit it. I mean, and to let our fans to enjoy everything the club can offer them, you know. So regarding Florentino, he had the vision. At the same time, after the vision, you need to implement the strategy. He had the vision and the strategy. And regarding Jose Angel Sanchez, he is probably one of the best executives in the world of sports nowadays. He's been with Florentino from the very beginning. Jose Angel Sanchez has been 20 years in the club, and he's Florentino's right hand, and they have as well a great vision of this industry. He's very creative, and at the same time, he's a great leader. So these two men have been pivotal for the club, and there are, above all, Florentino, because Florentino is our great leader, but Jose Angel, has played an essential role in the success, the steady success of the club over the last 20 years.
Thank you, Emilio. There's another question. We have been talking about digitalization of Real Madrid, of course, digitalization at the same time of the sports industry. Do you think the new technologies and digital transformation will be a disruptive process in this industry, and how the industry can face it in a moment like this?
Well, as I said before, all sport organizations, we are working on that. We think that that's the new path, because of new technologies and new channels, new platforms that are right now at our disposals, and probably we are going to have in the future. Nobody knows. Because technology evolves very rapidly. So the key point is how the relationship between clubs and fans are going to be in the future. That's the key point, because, nowadays we realize that they are avid of content, and at the same time, in fact, now we are able to offer them exclusive content according to their likes, So, but the other key point is they know that they contact us. They know that they visit our website they are on our social media platforms. We know that they want to know about Real Madrid. We know that they want to have permanent relationship with us. So, but we want to go beyond that and to have a closer relationship, a bilateral relationship, and to know more about each of them. That's the goal, you know. And when we were able to do it, yes, that is going to, well, will be a turning point in the industry. And we are in that process. And then when we are going to reach that point,
Perfect.
nobody knows, but
Yeah. Well, we are working on that. No, that's very important, and nobody knows. You are totally right, Emilio. We have time for the two last questions. I think this is a quite interesting one because probably not everybody knows that you have been also an international student. So in that experience that you have as international student, what will you remark? And also in relation for those students, international students, that they want to join us in the school, what do you recommend, advise to them?
Yes, it's true. It's true. I had a fantastic experience. When I retired in 1999, I decided to go to the United States, to LA, to study at UCLA. I studied there for 1 year. Well, life is a set of experiences, okay? So this is something I recommend everybody. If you have the opportunity to live abroad, do it. Do it because in my experience, I lived 3 years in Mexico because I retired in Mexico as a professional football player, and 1 year in the United States, in LA. And I have to tell you that year in LA is one of the highlights of my, let's say, private life, right? Because I had the opportunity to, I went there with my family, and I had the opportunity to be with students from all over the world. You know, I had been involved in football for 17 years, all right? And all of a sudden I decided to do something different and become an ordinary citizen. So I went to LA. I remember the first day, the first class, we had to introduce ourselves. And when I say that I had just retired as a professional football player, a soccer player in the United States, people, my classmates look at me and said, this guy is crazy, how a football player here, you know, studying in an executive program. So, and now it was a very fulfilling experience, you know. I had the opportunity to be with people from different countries, different backgrounds, had the opportunity to learn of the culture, of the language. No, it was fantastic. It is something everybody should do at least once in the lifetime, you know. So highly recommended. And in fact, I did it with my children, of course, but highly recommended because it's not an academic experience. It's an experience as a whole, not just to be yes, of course, networking in class will be fantastic, but it's an experience as a human being. Is something marvelous. And talking about Madrid is one of the best cities, of course, to live in, to enjoy. Great people, very hospitable city, very warm. The weather is marvelous. So, great experience, of course.
Excellent, Emilio. Well, the last question, and before we are closing this conversation, we would like to have some words from you with regards, for the current and future international students, considering this important time that we are all facing, and of course the important time, no, in their life in a moment like now, no. What words will you tell them, Emilio?
Well, yes, we are living through a very difficult situation. I mean, but when the situation is difficult is when you have to turn to your values, and it's a good opportunity to test yourself as well. All right, and to bring the best out of yourself. So it's a great opportunity. And this period, the pandemic, has shown that when we are united, we are going to win. That is really, very important, okay? And just now from the academic point of view, and for those who are with us today and you are interested in our graduate school, of course, it's not easy to make a decision, because this is an important decision, because you are going to devote 1 year of your life. I mean, time is the most precious treasure we have. I mean, and then you have to choose the right option. And so the key question is this program the ideal program for me, for my personal development, both as professional and as human being? That's the key point. And then what you have to do, of course, our graduate school is a very good option. But you have to be sure, you have to ask, you have to find out, talk to former students to know about their experiences with us. But I would say that we are very proud about this project. We are very proud about our teachers, those professionals who are part of the faculty, who are with us in the different programs. The Real Madrid is fully involved, completely involved in everything. And so I think we have a very good option, an excellent option. We have a name, we have a prestige in the academic world. Everybody knows how difficult it is to succeed in any sector, and then we've been able to do it. Then you have to decide. But in any case, we are at your disposal, people from our graduate school, to solve any doubt. And of course, we'll be delighted to welcome you in our graduate school and provide you with a unique experience. And of course, I would like to thank you all for being with us today from all these countries. Something is fantastic for us, and we are very proud of that. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Emilio, for your time, for such a good presentation of the school. Thank you to all the attendants. We are going to stop now for 2 minutes. Okay. Those most of you have already received the links that you will need to follow in order to find more information about the area of your interest. For those that they are interested in management and technologies, please bear in mind that you will be in the same room that you are right now, the same room of YouTube. Okay. So, as Emilio has said, we really hope that we will be able to welcome you next year. And yeah, thank you very much for attending and of course, for your interest in the school. We hope to see you soon. Thank you.